stopped counting the days. I think it's around a week. Been on the off cigarettes onto the Juul. I think it's getting a little easier. Really the hardest times are after meals and first thing in the morning. Man, after lunch cigarette, I think is the best one. Best one of the day. Right after lunch, you're sitting down after working all morning. Gosh, just tastes good, man. But I think I'm getting more used to it. I'm not like constantly smoking this, like literally constantly. Now I'm able to kind of put it down and not take a puff for, I don't know, half an hour sometimes at the most. So it's going well. I want to talk about a couple of slip joints real quick. I'm on my lunch break. I don't know if you saw earlier today I posted a short about this guy right here. This is the Real Steel Soulless. This is a slip joint, but a modern slip joint. We got a deep carry pocket clip on it that works really good. This is stainless steel, but it's I think it's a coating, like a bronze coating, I believe. Same on the pivot and the hardware. We got this long fuller on both sides to serve as a nail nick. And we got this 45-degree angle half stop, which I think is pretty interesting. And a nice pop to the full open position. This is a really nice, thin behind the edge, thin blade stock, Wharncliffe blade. You saw, well, I don't know if you saw, but I did a short earlier where I was cutting some rope with this thing, and I mean, blazed through it. I cut that rope that I do in the cut tests. I cut it like 4 times, a piece of cake. This is D2 blade steel. It seems to hold an edge nicely. Like I said, just real thin behind the edge. This is a really good cutter. Sharpening trail is okay. You got you got a little room in there. I'd say that's pretty decent. Walk and talk is not super poppy. The nicest pop is this one here, from the half stop to the full open. It's still pretty decent. Let's compare it to an ORJ. The one I have on me today is the sheep's foot. I mean, you're not really going to be able to tell looking at it, but the pull on the sheep's foot is stiffer. That's stiffer going to the half stop than this, and then full position or a full open position. That one's pretty similar actually, but here they are next to each other. Pretty similar size. This is a little bit slimmer in both dimensions. Blade stock and handle. Man, this is only like 30 bucks, 35 bucks maybe. And they do make a premium version with titanium scales and upgraded blade steel. I'm not sure what the blade steel is exactly, but I'm really tempted to possibly get that one. It's 100 bucks. I think this would be really cool in a premium version too. And then I have another slip joint here. This is the new Cubist Vanish, and it comes with this really nice leather slip. Check this guy out. This is just a mini PE2 or PE3, same sway back design, but it's a little slip joint. Really cool, man. I posted a picture of it this morning next to the regular liner lock PE2. It's much smaller, and I really like it, dude. This is kind of like, you know, I always say if it's going to be a small knife, it's got to be a Wharncliffe or a nice sheep's foot, because that's the type of cutting you're doing with a small knife. You know, you're putting pressure down on the tip, you're opening packages or doing little utility cuts. This is really cool, man. I could still get a full grip on it. I wouldn't really. You know, you're going to be holding a knife like this, really. Pinch grip, or, you know, pointer finger out here. Now, this one's kind of interesting on the pull, because, you know, usually to open a slip joint, you're pulling up here pretty far away from the pivot, right? You're grabbing it as far away from the pivot as possible so you can get more leverage. It's easier to pull it out that way. But this, you kind of have to grab it right here, and it's really close to the pivot. So there's not a whole lot of leverage, so it's a little difficult getting it to the half stop, I gotta say. But once you're there, I mean, it's totally doable. It's just, you kind of have to just really grab it, you know? And then to the full open position, pretty nice click. Half stop click, and then the biggest click is right here. That's a loud pop going to the close. Really nice. If I was to rate the walk and talk, the strength of the pull from 1 to 10, I would say this would be like a 5 or a 6 maybe. I think this one would be like a 4, 3 or 4. And the ORJ would probably be like a 7 or 8 maybe. I mean, I haven't experienced a whole shit ton of slip joints, but judging from the ones I've experienced, that was kind of what I would rank it as. Let's put it up with the ORJ. Yeah, it's cool, man. 20 CV blade steel. Nice sharpening choil. Yeah, you got some room there. See that right there? Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. I wish it was a little thinner behind the edge. I measured it in my unboxing video, and I think it was like 20 thousandths. So I wish it was a little thinner behind the edge, but you know, this is, like I said, you're mostly going to be using this much of the tip anyways, you know, doing stuff like this. So this one is probably the sliciest of the bunch though. This one right here, it's got the thinnest blade stock, thinnest measurement behind the edge. So if you just want a real slicey slip joint on a budget, this is a really good option. 35 bucks, man. Real steel Soulless, the Cubist Vanish. Now this one also comes in like a bronzed titanium. You can get it with black blades, satin blades. So there's a few options on these. I'm not sure how much they are, but I'm really tempted to get one, I gotta say. Mostly because I just want to have like a big and small version of the same knife. I think that's really cool. So that's about it. Just a little shorty today. In my pocket, besides the ORJ, carrying the old Shaman 15V, baby. I'm carrying it every day since I got it. This is just such a big knife, man. I'm not used to carrying something this big around in my pocket usually. The biggest knife I usually EDC is my PM2, and this is around the same length as the PM2, but it's just beefier in hand. You know, the blade stock is just, it's very thick. It's a very thick tip, a broader blade, just beefier, wider, bigger handle all around. Super, super comfy. You know, contoured G10 scales. I'm thinking about changing the scales out to like some AWT aluminum scales, but man, you can't, you lose the contoured scales, you know. The ones from AWT are not contoured like this. They do have a pretty good chamfer running around the outside, but they're not contoured like this. So I don't know, I can't decide, man. This is just so comfortable. I don't know yet. But man, I can't believe I finally own a Shaman in 15V, no less. Really, really stoked. I have a very slight blade play, but look how drop shut that is. I don't have to use wrist. If I tighten it up and get 0 blade play, I kind of have to go do like a little bit of a wrist thing, which that's fine too, but right now I just have it a little bit looser. And it's really nice, really, really nice. So that's it, folks. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully, well, yeah, there'll be a cut test tomorrow. I'm not sure what we'll do yet for that cut test, but it'll be something cool. Love you guys. Please like the video. Bye-bye.